Hello everyone. Hope you're all doing well. I have great faith in Kṣitigarbha Bodhisattva, and I read a writing written by Venerable Yin-Shun at Hui Dharma Center in 1963. So, in my talks these few days, I will explore the teachings of the Kṣitigarbha Bodhisattva. In the Chinese Buddhist community, it is very popular to have a praying ceremony for the salvation of the dead each seventh month of the lunar calendar. The first is the Ulambana Dharma service. It began when Shakyamuni Buddha was living in this world. Venerable Moggallana made offerings to the Buddha and the Sangha on the 15th day of the 7th lunar month for the salvation of his mother, so that she can gain relief from the sufferings of the hungry ghost realm. The other is the Kṣitigarbha Bodhisattva Dharma service. The 30th of 7th month in the lunar calendar is the Nirvana date for the Kṣitigarbha Bodhisattva's transformation body in China. Because Kṣitigarbha Bodhisattva saves beings from hell, there is the Kṣitigarbha Bodhisattva Dharma service. Also, there is the Yoga Flaming Mouth praying service, which was taught by the Buddha to Ananda for the relief for hungry ghosts and beings in the hell. These three types of Dharma services tend to be performed together in China in the 7th month of the lunar calendar. At this Dharma service, I would like to talk briefly about the teachings of the Kṣitigarbha Bodhisattva. Respect towards Kṣitigarbha Bodhisattva by monastics and lay followers. Chinese customs and beliefs of promoting filial piety and the salvation of parents. Kṣitigarbha Bodhisattva is widely respected and venerated by monastics and lay Buddhists in China. Kṣitigarbha Bodhisattva promotes filial piety and stresses the salvation of parents. Chinese people value heavily on filial piety, the spirit of being prudent in performing funeral rites, performance, and remembering our ancestors, which is compatible with the teachings of Kṣitigarbha Bodhisattva. Therefore, Kṣitigarbha Bodhisattva is well respected in China. Many great bodhisattvas are mentioned in the sutras. However, Avalokiteshvara and Kṣitigarbha Bodhisattvas are the two that are familiar to the Chinese community. In my hometown, on the 30th of the 7th lunar month, household will burn incense to offer and commemorate Kṣitigarbha Bodhisattva. Ordinary Buddhists often recite the sutra on the fundamental vow of the Kṣitigarbha Bodhisattva, or write and circulate this sutra. Therefore, the sutra of Kṣitigarbha Bodhisattva is popular and well known to all because of filial piety and salvation of the deceased parents. In the 7th lunar month, apart from the Ulambana Dharma service, there is also Kṣitigarbha Bodhisattva's Dharma service, and most temples are exceptionally busy. From what we see, Kṣitigarbha Bodhisattva has become a popular religious figure among Chinese people. So, as Buddhists, how should we understand the virtues of Kṣitigarbha Bodhisattva? Beneficial teachings of Kṣitigarbha Bodhisattvas are promoted and respected by great venerables. Not only is Kṣitigarbha Bodhisattva was praised and well respected in the Chinese community, but Kṣitigarbha Bodhisattva is also respected by some great monastics, and how I like to introduce two such venerables. At the end of Ming and beginning of Qing dynasties, there are four famous venerables in the history of Buddhism. They are Venerable Zhibo, Lianci, Hanshan, and Ouyi. Venerable Ouyi is a monastic who can understand and promote the teachings of different schools of Buddhism, such as the school of Zen, Vinaya, Pure Land, and Tentai. He especially values and promotes Kṣitigarbha Bodhisattvas and has made a vow in front of the statues of Kṣitigarbha Bodhisattva. Venerable Ouyi had already taken the bhikkhu precepts when he was young, but gave up the bhikkhu precepts in front of the Kṣitigarbha Bodhisattva statues and became a Bodhisattva novice monk. And Venerable Hongyi of our modern time is well known to most people. He was originally an artist who renounced home life and became a monk. He specializes in precepts and is the only venerable of our modern times who study precepts intensively. Venerable Hongyi also admired Kṣitigarbha Bodhisattva greatly. One year, when he was in Xiamen in China, he met a lay Buddhist, Liu Shihong, and who used his blood to draw Kṣitigarbha Bodhisattva's image. So Venerable Hongyi advised him to depict and draw the scenes of good deeds carried out by the manifested transformations of Kṣitigarbha Bodhisattva. Moreover, Venerable Hongyi wrote verses of praises on each picture. Later, Mr. Lu Xinhong gave the drawings as gifts for Venerable Hongyi's 60th birthday. So all these acts show how these two great venerables had great respect for Kṣitigarbha Bodhisattva. Ordinary people who believe in Kṣitigarbha Bodhisattva only know his great vow, which is not to attain Buddhahood unless the hell is empty. People know Kṣitigarbha Bodhisattva vow to save all beings in hell, but are not clear not clear about the teachings of the Bodhisattva's practice that benefits sentient beings. Yet, the teachings of Kṣitigarbha Bodhisattva are praised and promoted by many great venerables of ancient and present times. So, from these, we know Kṣitigarbha Bodhisattva has incredible virtues and merits. I hope from the details of my talk that people can have a further understanding of the greatness of the Bodhisattva, which is the intention of this talk. So, Kṣitigarbha Bodhisattva of Mount Jiuhua in China. So there are four famous mountains in China where the four great bodhisattvas appeared. Manjushri Bodhisattva was seen in Mount Wutai. Samantabhadra Bodhisattvas at Mount Emei. Avalokiteshvara at Mount Putuo, and Kṣitigarbha Bodhisattva at Mount Jiuhua. So almost all monasteries of these four famous mountains take the respective bodhisattvas as the main subject for homage. For example, the monasteries of Mount Wutai focus on Manjushri Bodhisattva. The monastery of Mount Putuo take Avalokiteshvara Bodhisattva as the honored one. they pay reference to, and so on. So in this way, these four famous mountains have become the practice places of the four great bodhisattvas, and also the sacred pilgrimage sites for all Buddhists in the country to pay homage to. Okay. Mount Jiuhua is located in Qingyang County and was called Mount Zhuji originally. When Li Bai, a poet famous poet in Tang Dynasty, went to Mount Zhuxi, he saw the 9 peaks of the mountain looks like a flower. So it was named Mount Jiuhua afterwards. Chinese Buddhism of Tang Dynasty is like the sun shining high in the sky. It reaches countries in the east, such as Japan and Korea. So many monastic members of Japan and Korea sought Buddhist teachings in China or to study Confucianism, politics, and so on. Korea was divided into 3 kingdoms at that time, which is Silla, Goguryeo, and Bache. So there was a prince of Silla kingdom willing to renounce his family and become a monastic. His name was Bisu Dizhang, and he traveled to China during Shen Xuan era in the 4th year when the Emperor Tang Taizong was in power. So Bisu Dizhang first visited many places randomly. And after traveling and teaching for some years, he came to Mount Jiuhua in Anhui province in South China. He saw a basin in the deep mountain, so he made a hut and practiced in harsh conditions. Many years had passed, and the elder Zhu Zhijie, another person, found this place when he was traveling and teaching in the mountains. So he saw this monk. So this person saw this monk was living in a hut inside a cave. And there was broken pots with some grains with white soil in it. The monk was living in hardship. So after the elder Zhu Zhijie found out Bisu Dizhang was a prince of Silla who came to China seeking the Buddha Dharma. He felt he had not fulfilled his duty as a host and proposed to build a monastery for Bisu Dizhang. So Mount Jiuhua was owned by a wealthy man whose surname is Mian. Before building the monastery, they must get permission and the land from Mr. Mian. So Mr. Mian admired and respected Bisu Dizhang a lot. So he asked, how much land he wanted. And the Bisu Dizhang replied, as far as the rope can cover is enough. You know the rope? The rope we eat when we eat. You saw it, the brown thing? Yeah. So he said, as long as it cover, you give me the land. So at that moment, Bisu Dizhang used supernatural power, cover the whole the mountain Jiuhua by the rope. So it was all covered. So Mr. Mian donated all the land of the mountain Jiuhua. So the Mr. Mian became the protector and supporter of Bhikkhu Dizhang, and his son also renounced family life to become a monk under Bisu Dizhang and became his attendant. His religious name was Daoming. Therefore, when we see the Kṣitigarbha Bodhisattva statues nowadays, there are 2 statues beside the Bodhisattvas, the father and son. The old man is Mr. Mian, while the young Bisu is his son. So after the temple was built, Many people from different places came to visit, and there were some from Korea, who came personally to make offerings. Mount Jiuhua was high and remote, and as the number of monastics increases, so too the problems of living. They had to mix white soil when cooking rice. The white soil is very fine and also called Avalokitesrava soil. It's not tasty, but they have no choice. They don't have enough rice. So from these, we can imagine how difficult was their livelihood. And these monastics were therefore called the wizened ones, very skinny, not looking good. People who practiced in that monastery were dedicated to seeing the Buddha Dharma wholeheartedly and had given up desires for material enjoyment. Bisu Dizang and people who practice at Mount Jiuhua made a great impact and influence to others. The late king of Silla from Korea sent people to offer food. Bisu Dizang continued to lead this place of practice until he entered Nirvana on the 30th day of the 7th lunar month in the year 26 of Kaiyuan of the Tang Dynasty at the age of 99. So the body of this Bhikkhu Dizang was still there. It's in a pagoda. I went to the mountain in the past to travel, and we can go bow to the small pagoda, which the Bhikkhu Dizang was still inside. So everyone intuitively felt the Bhikkhu Dizang was actually an incarnation of Kṣitigarbha Bodhisattva. That is, the Kṣitigarbha Bodhisattva's manifestation in the Chinese Buddhist site. Therefore, everyone called him Kṣitigarbha Bodhisattva, and Mount Jiuhua became the practice ground where Kṣitigarbha Bodhisattva manifested. Accordingly, it became one of the 4 famous mountains of Chinese Buddhism. Each year, on the 30th day of the 7th lunar month, the incense offerings on the Mount Jiuhua are especially abundant. So Kṣitigarbha Bodhisattva has his own unique causes and conditions that created connections with people. And that is why he has long gained the faith of the common people. The name and virtues of Kṣitigarbha Bodhisattva. So what is the meaning of the name? It means to bear all sorts of difficulties and austerities for sentient beings, but also cultivate all kinds of virtues. In Buddhism, bodhisattvas are named according to their virtues. Unlike ordinary people's name that are unrelated to their personality and behavior, each of the 4 well-known bodhisattvas in Chinese Buddhism has an additional terms of praise added to their name, like Manjusri of great wisdom, Samattabhadra of great deeds, Avalokitesrava of great compassion, and Kṣitigarbha of great vow. This shows that Kṣitigarbha Bodhisattva's vow is particularly great and extensive. In the Mahayana scriptures, there is the Dajijing Maha Samnipata Sutra, which means Great Congregation Sutra, which gives its name from the great assembly of bodhisattvas from the 10 directions to attend a congregation where Buddha was giving Dharma teachings. In this great assembly, many bodhisattvas have names containing the word treasury, Garbha, such as sun treasury, Suryagarbha, moon treasury, Chandragarbha, space treasury, Akasagarbha, diamonds treasury, Vajragarbha, Sumaru treasure, Sumarugarbha, and earth treasury, Kṣitigarbha, which means its name from the great assembly of bodhisattvas of the 10 directions who attended the congregation where the Buddha was given Dharma teachings. So what does earth treasury Kṣitigarbha means? Earth refers to the great earth and also to the earth elements. Treasury was the meaning of containing, similar to how gold mines, silver mines, coal mines, and iron mines contain precious resources. In the Buddha Dharma, when the word treasury, garbha, is used in the title, it means like a storehouse. The meaning of earth treasury Kṣitigarbha, on the one hand, is explained in relation to the great elements of the earth. Earth is one of the four great elements, capable of supporting everything. For example, all high and great mountains, as well as all things and matters, exist on the earth. This is the symbolic of the Bodhisattva's virtue, being able to take on all hardships and difficult practices for the sake of sentient beings' welfare. On the other hand, the word Kṣiti means earth, also has the meaning of foundation, the basis, which suggests, for example, that all vegetation depends on the earth to grow and thrive. So this symbolizes how all virtues of benefiting self and others in the world exist and arise because of this bodhisattva. As Kṣitigarbha, the earth treasury bodhisattva, can embody various virtues and generate all virtues, he's named, so that is why he is named Kṣitigarbha, earth treasury. In other words, he has the name because he can undertake difficult practices and hardships and help sentient beings gain benefits and relief. Commonly, this bodhisattva's name in Chinese Buddhism tradition includes the term king, Wang, king, Dizhang Wang. But in the sutras, he is just simply named Kṣitigarbha. Perhaps the reason why the word king was added as an honorary title is because Bhikkhu Dizhang was a prince of the Sila kingdom. So the praise the virtues. The merits of great compassionate vow is equal to the merits of the Buddha. So having recognized Bhikkhu Dizhang of Mount Jiuhua as an manifestation of Kṣitigarbha Bodhisattva, we shall now expound upon the true merits of Kṣitigarbha Bodhisattva. Just as it is said in the 占杂经, 第一章占杂经 the sutra, 占杂经 sutra, since making Bodhi vow, since making the Bodhi vow, countless, immeasurable, inconceivable eons have passed. He has long since been able to cross over the seas of the Savanja with his merits fully perfected. However, relying solely on the power of his original vow, he skillfully manifested and responds as needed throughout the 10 directions. So according to the records of the 占杂经, it has already been a very long time, um, uh, countless eons since the Kṣitigarbha Bodhisattva made his vow and began practicing. His merits and wisdoms are commensurate to the Buddha's. Sarvajna means omniscience, the wisdom of the Buddha. So Sarvajasi is the term used to describe Buddha's great awakening and great wisdom, which is deep and wise like a sea. Kṣitigarbha Bodhisattva was been practicing for immeasurable eons and has gained the ocean-like wisdom of the Buddha and fulfilled the perfections of the merits and could have attained Buddhahood a long time ago. However, the Bodhisattva vowed to guide and save all sentient beings. Therefore, the Bodhisattva hides his true merit, hides it, and presents in the different realms to give teachings to human and heavenly beings through the strength of the Bodhisattva's fundamental vow and supernatural powers. Therefore, in the Lankavatara Sutra, mentioned that there is a great compassionate Bodhisattva who not want to attain Buddhahood. This is not because his ability and achievement is low or being lazy in his practice. Rather, it is due to his great compassionate vow, which is to save and liberate all sentient beings. Therefore, his merits are equal to the merits of a Buddha. Yet, the Bodhisattva always presents himself in the form of a Bodhisattva and not a Buddha, as he continues to guide and help sentient beings in the world of 10 directions. So, now I will look at some details of the sutra of the fundamental vows of Kṣitigarbha Bodhisattvas. Someone looked down at this sutra. First of all, people may not agree on the value of the sutra on the fundamental vows of Kṣitigarbha Bodhisattva, which talks about karma and retribution and names of the hells, because it is not difficult mystical theory, and it does not bring anything refreshing to the world, and it does not worth to be engraved and circulated in this world. However, Master Lian-Ci talk about the importance of the sutra on the fundamental vow of Kṣitigarbha Bodhisattva and saying, fabric is used to make clothes like rice. When the world is at peace, they are not as valuable as a pearl. However, in bad days, in years of famine, when there is no rice, pearls cannot be used as food. Pearls cannot be used as clothes. So if you have clothes and rice, they become the precious treasure. After Buddha Shakyamuni's nirvana, the Buddha Dharma has been on earth for more than 2,000 years. And both the period of true teachings and the period of semblance teachings have passed. So after 2,000 years, it is the period of degenerate teaching. In the period of the degenerate teaching, Buddha Dharma is facing a difficult condition, which is similar to have no clothes or no rice. So when you talk about the Buddhist teachings that are profound, subtle, and difficult, it is not easy to study and understand. The Sutra of the Fundamental Vows of Kṣitigarbha Bodhisattva, which talks more about karma and the names of the hell, is exactly what is needed to save living beings in the period of the degenerate teaching, the last days of the Dharma. Until all sentient beings are liberated, will I gain enlightenment. This is what until the hells are emptied, I vow not to attain Buddhahood. That is Kṣitigarbha Bodhisattva's vow. So people always thought the teaching is easy to understand and they tend to ignore it. But actually, the idea of the sutra is so profound that it is not easy to achieve. So these people have made the mistakes. Okay. So in the sutra is a Manjusri, the awesome spiritual strength and the vows of Bodhisattva are inconceivable. If good men or women in the future hear this Bodhisattva's name, praise him, behold, and bow to him, call his name, make offerings to him, or if they draw, carve, cast, sculpt, or make images of him, such people will be reborn in the heaven of the 33 100 times and will never fall into the evil paths. So there are good men, good women in the future who hear the name of the Kṣitigarbha or praise or say that Kṣitigarbha's vow, supernatural powers, and compassion are inconceivable. You should introduce Kṣitigarbha Bodhisattva and his teachings to others like your colleagues, relatives, and friends, and introduce them to the compassionate vow of the Kṣitigarbha Bodhisattva. So think to yourself, if Kṣitigarbha can make this vow, what should I do? Should I make a small vow? Should I help one sentient beings to become a Buddha, then become a Buddha myself? Or should I become a Buddha after helping two sentient beings to become a Buddhas? If I want to make, if I don't make such a big vow, but instead just a small one, then studying the sutra on the fundamental vows of Kṣitigarbha Bodhisattva will not be a waste of time. However, if you just listen to it, then forget about it, the Bodhisattva remains the Bodhisattva while I remain myself. In this case, it is as if you had not listened to it at all. For example, imagine a man who had a girlfriend and make the vow that if he attained Buddhahood, he would help his girlfriend attain enlightenment and become a Buddha. 2. So after his girlfriend has attained Buddhahood, he would also attain Buddhahood. It's like that. It works like that. Okay. So now we'll talk about a story from the sutra. Inside the sutra of the Kṣitigarbha Bodhisattva. So there is a vow of an elder son. Long time ago, when Kṣitigarbha Bodhisattva was an ordinary man, he was a son of a wealthy elder. In that distant past, a Buddha of golden splendor, great dignity, and the 32 marks of perfection emerge in this world, known as the Lion Spirit, complete in 10,000 practice, thus come one. This is the name. So at that moment, the great Bodhisattva Kṣitigarbha recognized his profound aspiration to practice, inspired by the majestic presence of the Lion Spirit, complete in the 10,000 practice, thus come one. A very long name. So long ago, there was a wealthy elder who had a son known for good nature and positive qualities. This boy had accumulated excellent karma, which led him to meet a majestic and dignified Buddha. When the rich elder's son encountered the Buddha, feelings of joyful admiration and deep respect filled his heart. The elder son bowed down to the Buddha seat and worshipped him. He noticed that the Buddha's appearance was dignified and pure, radiating like glass. The Buddha was compassionate and had this 32 marks of excellence towards the 80 auspicious signs. These sights filled the elder son with joy and enthusiasm. So he found himself unable to look away from the Buddha's dignified face. As to respect, he asked Lion Spirit complete in the 10,000 practice thus 1-1. Dear Buddha, may I ask what kind of vow you have made and what kinds of good cause you have cultivated to attain such a perfect appearance of dignity and virtue? What kind of vows do you have to cultivate in order to be able to realize the same kinds of extraordinary and unparalleled appearance as the Buddha? And at that moment, the Buddha kindly explained to the elder son, if you wish to attain a pure and perfect Buddha body, you must liberate and save all suffering beings over an extended period of time. All the Buddhas of the past cultivated their dignified Dharma bodies by helping sentient beings with strong aspirations and deep compassion. They had to cultivate themselves for many years and across numerous lifetimes before they could attain the blessed, pure, perfect Buddha body. Therefore, a person's dignified appearance cannot be achieved merely through dressing up and decorating. It is formed through various wholesome deeds and thoughts that accumulate merits and virtues. At that time, after listening to the teachings of the Buddha, he was overwhelmed with joy and emotion as if he achieved great treasure and attained wisdom and experience awakening. As the result, he vowed to learn and practice Buddhism. Then, kneeling down before the seat of the Buddha, he made a vow. Buddha, I wish that from now on, for the sake of liberating all sentient beings in the 6 paths of sin and sufferings, I will dedicate myself to this cause for as long as it takes. I will establish all kinds of expedient ways of salvation so that they may be free from all sufferings. And only by then, I will become a Buddha myself. So the elder son made that profound vow before the seats of the lion spirit complete in 10,000 practices thus come one. Throughout the countless kalpas since the beginning of time, he has remained true to his original intention. The Kṣitigarbha Bodhisattva's compassionate wish to assist sentient beings and liberate them from the 6 paths of existence has never waned over infinite kalpas. For the sake of countless beings, he has established various expedient Dharma practices and frequently come to their aid, helping them to relieve their sins and escape from all sufferings, ultimately attain peace, happiness, and supreme state of the Buddhahood. The profound vows made by the Kṣitigarbha Bodhisattva when he was the son of an elder have endured for countless eons, and from the beginning of time to the present days. So throughout this immense span, he had never wavered in his commitment. He continues to embody the Bodhisattva's path, consistently saving and aiding countless sentient beings. So Manjusri, that comment caused the elder son to make a vow. From now until the end of future times, throughout uncountable eons, I will use expensive, expedient means to help beings in 6 paths who are suffering for their offenses. Only when they have liberated will I myself become a Buddha. So this is the great vow that we heard from this story. And so after all this time, he is still the Bodhisattva, and he is Kṣitigarbha Bodhisattva. So in one of his lifetime, he is the elder son. Okay, and I think it's about time. Oh, there's a few minutes left. I'm not going to continue anymore. So, are there any questions or any thinking? So, have you all heard about the Kṣitigarbha Bodhisattva before?
Very little.
Very little, yes. But it was quite famous in the Chinese culture.
If you go to Japan, he's everywhere.
Yes.
In the monastery, you heard about it a little, but if you watch a lot of movies on
Yes.
the martial arts channel, he's in there all the time.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
Mount Sumeru.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That the elder son is the Ananda?
You mean the one who gave the mountain to the Bisu?
No, the story.
Elder son, the elder son.
The
No.
how you
Oh.
sit too much.
Oh, yeah, it's similar, but it's not Ananda.
It's not Ananda.
No. Yeah, because in the next few days, I also have different stories. These stories I didn't make it up. It's from the sutra.
Oh, okay.
It's teach by the Buddha himself. So Buddha talk about how Kṣitigarbha Bodhisattva appear on earth, and why we need to praise the Bodhisattva, because the Bodhisattva has great compassionate vow. Yeah. And then in the sutra, it tells us a lot of things that we can do and change so we don't fall into the bad paths and the hell. Okay. Any more questions? Yes.
When you reference the six paths, are those the different realms of existence?
Yes.
The hell realm.
Yes. So this sutra is actually easier for people to adapt because it physically tells you what to do. It's not the very difficult theory kind of sutra. So this one, I mean, if a person have really bad karma, if they cannot really understand the difficult Buddha Dharma, if they start with this first, their karmic conditions will change. Then later they become wiser. Then they can understand the Dharma. Yes. Okay. Anyway.
To teaching that the sutra is
Yes, inside. Yes.
It's about the
Yes, I will. Yes, I will select some texts, but the most of my teachings, I use Venerable Yin-Shun's writing, and then I will plus the sutras details inside. Okay, it's about time. Thank you very much. Oops. Should I stop the